A mathematical look at racism and ethnic identification. Math is often called the universal language because if you follow the rules, it doesn't change no matter who is doing it, and what language they speak, where they're from, why they're doing it, or anything else. Math is just math. It's probably one of the most universally disliked subjects too, so sorry about that. Every person on Earth has exactly two biological parents, meaning exactly two people contributed to the DNA of each individual. No more, no less. The number of ancestors who contribute to an individual's DNA goes up exponentially with each generation, specifically by a power of 2. For example, each individual on Earth has no more than 4 biological grandparents and 8 biological great-grandparents. At the 5th generation back, the number of DNA contributors would be no more than 2 to the 5th, or 32 ancestors. It could be less due to inbreeding, which we all have it in our ancestry if you go back far enough. At the 10th generation back, an individual has no more than 1,024 ancestors, or 2 to the 10th. For simplicity, I will use the average of 30 years per generation. This means an individual has over 1,000 ancestors alive about the time of the founding of Yale University. If we go back twice as far, say to the year 1400, an individual has over 1 million contributors to their DNA. That's a lot of people. You may now be saying, that's almost interesting, but what's your point? Nearly all people would agree a person's ethnicity is determined by their biological ancestry. However, at what percentage does a person become a particular ethnicity? If you try to solve this problem mathematically, it becomes extremely problematic because you cannot use percentages. The only percentage you can use is 100%. Let me explain why. If you take a house and you paint the walls of the house blue, everybody would say the house is blue. But you only painted the walls. You didn't paint the roof, the windows, the trim, the door, etc. Mathematically, you could determine the exact percentage of the house, which is blue, based upon the blue surface area compared to the overall surface area. You'd measure everything and you would compare, and then you would get your percentage. I don't know why anybody would want to do this, but at least you'd know how blue your house was. However, a person is not like a house or anything else inanimate. Remember the year 1400 we discussed before? Let's say you take away one of those DNA ancestors from the year 1400. That still leaves over 1 million ancestors, so no problem, right? Wrong. If you take away just one ancestor from anywhere in a person's history, the person ceases to exist, or rather, never existed. Since every single ancestor is critical to create the individual who exists today, the percentage of a person's ancestry used to determine ethnicity can only be 100%. But mathematically, we're all the same ethnicity, mixed. Since we are all mixed, the argument that one ethnicity is greater or lesser than another is not only silly, it is completely invalid and wrong. Additionally, you cannot subtract generations because time-based math only goes one direction, forward. Spoiler alert, that means you cannot pick your ancestry or do anything to change it, no matter how much you like or dislike anybody in the past. The only ancestry you can affect is that of your descendants. Pride and gratitude cannot exist simultaneously in a person's heart because being grateful requires one to humbly accept the gift that is given. Think about that. So let me end this by saying, don't flaunt or hide your ancestry because this implies you had something to do with the outcome. You did not. It is a gift. Learn your ancestry and celebrate your heritage because it is an amazing piece of what makes you, you. Be grateful for your ancestry. Grateful for the wonderful things they did and the lessons they learned. Grateful for the terrible things they did because you can learn from their mistakes. Grateful because you can improve things for the next generation. I'd like to end this with one of my favorite quotes. Thanks for watching.